"In all your life, your only choice," Aunt Leonie said to her once, "is the path of needles or the path of pins." Rachelle remembered that, the day that she killed her. When Rachelle was 12 years old, Aunt Leonie picked her to become the village's next woodwife. Rachelle had been to her aunt's cottage 100 times before, but that morning she stood awkwardly straight and proper, hands clasped in front of her. Aunt Leonie knelt before her, wearing the white dress and red mantle of a woodwife. "Child," she said, and Rachelle's spine stiffened because Aunt Leonie only called her that when she was in trouble. "Do you know the purpose of a woodwife?" "To weave the charms that protect the village," Rachelle said promptly, "and remember the ancient law." Rachelle thought she would like weaving the yarn through her fingers. She knew she would love learning the old tales, but she wished that woodwives still went on quests. She wanted to live the stories, not just tell them to the village children. "And who was the first woodwife?" asked Aunt Leonie. "Zisa," said Rachelle, "because she was the first person to protect anyone from the great forest when she and Tyr killed the Devourer." "And who is the Devourer?" asked Aunt Leonie. "The god of the forest-born," said Rachelle. "Father Pierre says he doesn't really exist, or anyway he's not a god, because there is only one God, and he made heaven and earth. He doesn't try to eat them. But whatever the Devourer was, he had the sun and the moon in his belly until Tyr and Zisa stole them and put them in the sky." Father Pierre said that wasn't true either, but Rachelle didn't see how he could be so sure when he hadn't been there 3,000 years ago. And she liked that part of the story. "He is the everlasting hunger," said Aunt Leonie in a voice of grim resignation. "And yes, once he held all the world in darkness, and once all mankind was ruled by the forest-born, who hunted us like rabbits." A thread of uneasiness slid through her stomach. "Tyr and Zisa killed the Devourer," she said. "Zisa died, and Tyr became king." "No," said Aunt Leonie. "Tyr and Zisa only bound him, and that binding is nearly worn out." She said the words so simply. It was a moment before Rachelle understood them, before she felt the awful, sickening lurch of real fear. Quietly, relentlessly, Aunt Leonie went on. "One day soon he will open his eyes and yawn, and then he will swallow up the moon and the sun, and we shall live in darkness once again." She met Rachelle's eyes. "Do you believe me, child?" "Yes," said Rachelle as her heart beat no, please, no. But when she met Aunt Leonie's eyes, she had to think, maybe. "It's all right," she told herself. "Aunt Leonie will save us." But Aunt Leonie didn't plan to save anyone. For 3 years Rachelle sat obediently braiding charms in the cottage. She learned to ward off fever and keep mice out of grain, and to prevent woodspawn, the animals born in the great forest suffused with its power, from wandering into the village and attacking people. But none of it mattered, because when the Devourer returned, no charm would be strong enough to protect anyone. Aunt Leonie told her so again and again. "What can we do?" Rachelle always asked.